The US, that's been kind of from a geographic perspective, the leading market over the last many years. And again, this year, that's all changed. And the US is actually lagging other key international markets, including Europe.
Marissa, it's wonderful to have you here at the NYSE studio at ETF Exchange.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
I want to start off by asking you about the opportunities or trends that you're seeing in the market today.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest trends that we're seeing right now is the broadening of the equity market. If you think about the equity market over the last couple of years, it's been extremely narrow, the breadth of the drivers of returns, really coming from a very small cohort of stocks. And I think this year we've really started to see that reverse. The Magnificent Seven group of stocks, as an example, they have really led the market over the last many years. Actually, this year, what we've seen is that they're underperforming the other 493 stocks. Secondly, the US, that's been kind of from a geographic perspective, the leading market over the last many years. And again, this year, that's all changed. And the US is actually lagging other key international markets, including Europe. That's a big shift. And what we're starting to see is a broader array of stocks contributing to the market's performance. What we're advising our clients is to look down and out. So in other words, move down the market cap spectrum here in the US and look outside of the US as well for interesting opportunities. You mentioned kind of big opportunities that we're seeing. I think one of the areas that we are most excited about here in the US is actually the small cap equity space. Why is that? Because fundamentals actually are really solid. Earnings growth is strong. M&A activity has started to pick up. Interest rates, which formerly were a headwind, have actually changed as rates have started to come down, and it's now a nice positive tailwind for the asset class. And finally, when we look at valuations, the average small cap stock is trading at almost a 30% discount to its large cap peers. And so, as we think about long-term investors who can actually look through the noise, we believe that now is a great time to actually put capital to work. And I think the small cap space is a very interesting space to do that in.
Now, Marissa, do you have any ETFs that you'd like investors to consider?
Yeah, I think one of our ETFs can be a great option for investors to consider for investing in the small cap space. So the Goldman Sachs Small Cap Equity ETF, the ticker is GSC. This is an actively managed product that invests in the US small cap market. And I think, one thing I would flag is that this space, it's critical to go active in small caps. Why? Because almost 30% of small cap companies are actually still loss-making. So when you're investing here, you really don't want to buy the whole benchmark. You want to be very selective, really focus on good quality companies with strong fundamentals that are making profits. And so that's what we're doing in GSC. So it's actively managed. We're very selective. We focus on quality companies. And it's managed by an extremely experienced portfolio management team. They've been doing this for decades. They're really experts in kind of doing that due diligence on these companies, knowing the companies inside out for inclusion in the portfolio. So that's kind of one that I think is a really good option for investors to consider.
And finally, Marissa, where should investors go to learn more about your ETFs and your market views?
Yeah, so investors can go to gsam.com/ETFs to learn more about GSC, to learn more about our market views, and also about all of our other ETFs.
Marissa, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.